Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to 75 South Gardening. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys a simple way that you can overwinter your pepper plants. So the first step to overwintering your pepper plant is to simply prune it. You want to prune right at the Y, just like this. Now you don't have to cut them that short. You could simply remove all of the leaves and they will grow back just fine, like the ones you see here. Now these two plants are actually a little over 2 years old now, and they're still producing peppers. So what I'm going to do today is cut them a little shorter. That way, once they grow back, they'll all be on the same level. You can also leave as many nodes on as you want. You don't have to cut them down like me. I'm doing this because I want them all to be the same height, and they will be on the grow light. So for this one right here, I'll cut the new branch just like that, and the older branch right about there, just like that. I'll also go ahead and remove the fan leaves. Within 1 week, you should start to notice new growth, like the small shoots that you see here. Now this particular plant was removed from the raised bed here, and I simply dug deep and planted it right into that container. Now I also have some that I snatched out and threw to the side, and they're right over here in this container. And the only thing I did was throw a little compost on top of them, and they are still alive. Now within 3 weeks, your plant should start to look something like the ones you see here. Now these were done in late October to prepare for a November 10th frost. It is now November 24th, and we still haven't had our first frost. The next thing you want to do is remove all of the mulch, then remove as much soil as you can surrounding the plant. This way you don't have to worry about gnats flying around your house. Soil from outdoors is always full of fly larvae. The next step is to simply pour boiling water over the soil that was removed. This will kill any living insect larvae. Now once that cools off, I like to add an all-purpose slow release. That way my plant has something to feed on during the winter months. Now the next step is to simply water your plants in. What you're looking at here is rainwater. I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of molasses to each gallon of rainwater. Now this is unsulfured molasses. It has 12% calcium, 11% iron, and 8% potassium. It also has 20% sugar. Now the sugars in the molasses will feed the microbes in your soil that help break down the slow release, and your plants will be able to uptake nutrients better through the roots. Now the reason that I left some of the old soil is simply because it is full of microbes, and the chlorine in the tap water will kill off most of those microbes once I run the boiling water through this soil here. Now as those microbes feed on the sugars in the molasses, they will start to multiply again. Now another thing that I'll be doing is using hydrogen peroxide and simply going over the top of the soil that I decided to keep. That way it kills off any fly larvae that's in this soil. Now this won't kill the microbes, it will only kill the fly larvae. You don't want gnats flying all around your house. And as it sizzles, sometimes you can see the actual fly larvae dying. They look like little worms. Let's see if I can see one here, y'all. See right here by my finger? That's fly larvae right there. See it wiggling? Looks like a little worm. Now, I've been experimenting with these pepper plants for a while, and this is the method that works best for me. Now, you can also grab a bag of soil at your own risk. The last video I made on this, I showed you guys a bag of soil that I was using that worked for me, and it didn't quite work for everyone else. Now, I'll be using that same method on my fruit trees here. The 3 mango trees that you see here will be coming indoors for the winter. And I'll do the same thing. Move the top layer, pour a little peroxide, and water it in. I'll also be bringing in my Meyer lemon here. Now, the problem that most people had with the soil mix that I use was simply mold. And that's coming from old soil that has been sitting on those shelves for a very long time. It is now November 27th, and we're in the low 40s now, and as you can see, the leaves have started to drop on the pepper plants. That's letting you know that it is way too cold out here. And Friday, we are expecting temperatures as low as 29 degrees, so I'm going to get this done today ahead of time and take them inside. Now, for those of you that don't want to go through all of those steps, you could simply make your own soil mix or a simple seed starting mix. All you have to do is snatch the plant out of the soil, but don't rinse this off. You want to keep those microbes in your soil mix. And you can make that by simply getting a bag of peat moss and mix it with a little perlite and add a slow release fertilizer. And once you take these inside, you want to make sure that they're receiving at least 10 hours of light each day. And for those of you that don't want to buy the slow release, you can always add organic matter to your soil, whether it's the cuttings that you pruned away from the plant, grass clippings, or even coffee grounds. These are all full of nitrogen that will promote leafy growth. Now, in my opinion, the best fertilizer that you can use in your garden is going to be from the leaves of the comfrey plant, if you're growing comfrey. And that's pretty much it for today's video, you guys. Always remember to plan your garden with your health in mind.